friends! Welcome to the All-Canadian Reptile Girl with me, Annalise. Today is a special day as I am officially hitting 500 subscribers. I'm actually a little late in filming this. I thought I'd have a bit more time before hitting 500, but I had a big jump in subs very recently. Probably thanks to some bald guy a couple hours down the road. Thank you, Adam. Anyway, this is an exciting milestone and I cannot thank you enough for watching my videos, subscribing to my channel, and supporting my dream of helping people see how awesome these scaly and slithery creatures truly are. I did a room tour when I hit my first 100 subscribers, but a lot has changed since then and I figured you might like an update. So, come on. Let's jump in up here. This is where Hobbs, my Macklots Python, lives. As a semi-arboreal snake, he really likes to climb. We've given him lots of things to climb and explore his vertical space. We have a spring upgrade project planned for him. We are going to replace that big light fixture up there and take out most of the screening up here so that he gets a little bit more height. I think he'll really like it. I really hope he does. And of course, there will be a video for you so that you can see that upgrade. Oh, is this a sticker of Hobbs and his buddy Oscar, you ask? It sure is. Yes, it's just like my sweater. You've got a keen eye. Where can you get one of your very own, you ask? Great question. You can check out my store. You can get these two best buds or choose a different design on a t-shirt, sweatshirt, or even a mug or face mask. Neat, eh? Below Hobbs is Tessara's Enclosure. She is one of my Dumerils Boas. She is currently sharing this enclosure with her boyfriend Romeo. We had paired them for breeding and he will be moving out soon. We're just doing some work on an enclosure upgrade for him. But this is pretty typical of what you see with Dumerils Boas. There's just a lot of napping and laying out. Isn't that right, Tessara? They're so cute. Over here is one of my 3 corn snakes, Frostbite's enclosure. This enclosure is a recent build that I just did a video on, which I think will be coming out next week. I'll put a card in for it once it comes out. Moving downstairs is my Plains Garter snake tank. I've got 4 in here: Roy, Moss, Jen, and Richmond, the IT crowd. If you haven't watched that show, you really should. These guys are pretty tiny, but are also due for a larger enclosure. The bigger garter snakes I've got took priority. We'll get to them in a minute. This big thing over here is separated into 2 enclosures. Over here is Tituba, my boa Imperator's current home. It's been great for her for the past year, but her growth has taken off and she has outgrown it. So this big empty spot over there will be Tituba's home very soon. It will be all naturalistic and we're going to give her lots of sturdy branches and shelves mounted into the walls for her to climb. My mom and I will be working on this project and I'm super excited to get started on it. Tituba's current home will be cleaned up and will be a home for the newest addition of our family, which has popped up a couple of times on Instagram, but I have not formally introduced yet. This will hopefully be a suitable home for her for the next few months or so while we build her a huge permanent enclosure. Just to give you an idea of how big it will be, we'll be using the space that is currently being used as the bottom bunk of my bunk bed. Put your guess of what you think the awesome reptile might be in the comments below. Under Tituba is my giant corn snake. This is one of my favorite enclosures, and Dozer loves it too. We often just open the lid a crack and let him decide if he wants to come out or if he just wants to stay and chill in his enclosure. Some might say that this enclosure is a bit too big for a corn snake, even if you filled it with tons of clutter. But Dozer really loves it, and he utilizes the entire space. At 6'1¼ inches, this is also the perfect size for him. Let's check out the next room Here is my gecko gully, where I have Daisy, my leopard gecko, Night Monkey, my crested gecko, and Arthur Morgan, my gargoyle gecko. All of these are bioactive enclosures, but I think I am going to do an upgrade on these two. See, the thing no one tells you about getting multiple reptiles is that you will constantly be upgrading your enclosures, whether the animal outgrows it, or you learn a new technique, or the information regarding their husbandry standards change, or even you become inspired by something someone else has done with their enclosures. It is never ending. Anyway, under these guys is just some storage stuff for, you know, extra lights, decor, first aid, food, that kind of thing. It's just spare reptile stuff. Over here, we have a split tank. This used to be home to some of my garter snake species. There was one species on one side and the other species on the other side. Right now, this side is home to Gurgle Snout, my baby bull snake. He just loves hanging out on this little ledge. It's adorable to see his little nose poking out. On the other side is Johanna, my juvenile California king snake. She's a little bit more shy though. Both of these guys are still juvenile, and they will be needing upgrades once they get a little bit bigger. Upgrades. Never ending. Down here is my third corn snake, Noodles' home. You may have seen my video on this tank build. I kind of made a Temple Ruins theme for her out of the styrofoam. I love this enclosure. Just her orange against the gray blue of the background and then the green foliage. It's beautiful, don't you think? All right, let's cross the room to my bearded dragon, Rosa's enclosure. This is a bioactive desert enclosure. She loves stomping all over this terrain and clambering over the branches and digging in the dirt and laying and sleeping on the plants. She loves it. Under her is a spare bioactive tank. There's nothing in here at the moment. But over here is my male hognose snake, Higgins. This is a semi-arid bioactive setup. He has done a ton of tunneling and rearranging in here, so it's due for a little freshening up, but we'll take care of that in a few weeks. And who is this lovely little lady over here? Oh, you're fine. I know. Good girl, aren't you? Yeah, I know you don't like it when people pet you on your thing. Can I have my sleeve back? Let's head back to what was the living room, and we'll finish up the other wall. We will start here with Maggie. She is my baby albino hognose snake. This is only a temporary home until she gets a little bit bigger. Then she will be moving into that empty bioactive tank I just showed you. She finally figured out that she loves food and has begun putting on weight. I'm very happy with her progress, and I am looking forward to building her a great home. She really seems to like to climb. Oh, it's okay, just my hand. Which some might say is a little unusual for hognose snakes, but here's how it went. Maggie was always hiding in her substrate and was really defensive when I'd put my hand into her enclosure. So I figured she wasn't feeling super secure in her space. So I papered the back, glued on a couple strips of bark and some rocks on the side, and now she's out often climbing and exploring every day. I'm so glad that she's now happy. She's so cute. After Maggie is Nope. She is a tarantula, and I do not care for her, but I'm trying to overcome my crushing fear of this demonic beast, and will one day maybe make friends with her, but that day it's not today. So, moving on. My Coast Guarders, Jim and Pam, live here. I recently released a video about this enclosure. This one also might be one of my favorites. It has a ton of just built-in tunnels and hidey holes that they love zipping through. I made them some lovely basking spots here on the wall, but they decided that they'd rather sleep on the plant. Whatever makes you comfortable, I guess. Down here was everybody's best buddy Monty in the PVC enclosure, but we just moved him into an old TV stand that my dad and I converted into a cozier home for him. That is up in my room where it is a little quieter. We think that Monty will like that better. Over here is Agatha, my mom's red-footed tortoise. This enclosure meets Agatha's needs, but all three of us feel like it's kind of a bit meh. A lot of tortoises have trouble with glass, but that does not seem to be an issue with Agatha. It still hasn't come together quite right. It's tough because Agatha will dig up and eat any plants we plant in here, and we haven't quite come up with a way to make it look as great as some of our other enclosures. The important thing though is that Agatha is happy and healthy. She also has an outdoor enclosure that we can use in the summer. I'll show you that in a couple of months when it is warm enough here for her to be outside. And then guess what? Yep, she'll be getting an upgrade too. Finally, we finished down here with my valley garter snakes, Dwight, Angela, and Kelly. In my opinion, this is the most beautiful tank we have. Well, maybe not. The Coast Garters is really nice, and I like Dozers too. I don't know. The wall has all sorts of branches and little tubes and hidey holes built in. The plants are doing great, and this water bowl is actually molded into the base and looks like a little sort of natural rock pond. Underneath is easy access to the drainage layer for us to add water. It is so much fun watching these guys just chase each other around the enclosure. The valleys are so active, and there are so many little spots for them to poke their little heads out of and hide in, and it's so cute. And I could just sit here and watch them for hours. My cats agree. This is their preferred tank to park in front of and watch the show. The garters are so curious, and they always come up to say hi. It's so cute. So there you have it, a tour of my reptile room. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. Which one is your favorite? With 1, 2, 3, 6, I've lost count, upgrades or new builds on the horizon, in the next little while, it will probably be changing a fair amount in the next few months. Maybe I'll post an update when I hit 1,000 subs. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that. Thank you again so much for helping me hit this milestone. It really means a lot to me. Please hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see daily posts about my reptiles, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. But most importantly, remember to nurture all nature. Thanks everyone. Bye! Ooh. Look at the little Maggie. She's so tiny. You're getting so big though. Practicing for the air Olympics. The air ballet too. Oh! Did you just launch yourself up? She just jumped. It still hasn't come together quite right. I need to sneeze. Ow! Okay. That's forceful. They usually are. Now you look like you've been crying. That's great. Wonderful. You did that.